I think the slide finally loaded just in time, and let's have you take it away.
Thanks a lot. Hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're tuning in from. As mentioned, my name is Greg Collins, and the topic I'm going to cover today is optimizing and modernizing IT infrastructure from the data center to the cloud. So to introduce myself, my name is Greg Collins, and I'm the Senior Product Marketing Manager for Progress's IT infrastructure monitoring solution called WhatsUp Gold. I also have my colleague Jason Alberino, who's a Principal Product Manager at WhatsUp Gold, on hand. Jason will give us a demo later in the session and answer any questions that may come to light throughout. So to kick it off, I'll give a brief rundown of the agenda. As I mentioned, the topic of today is all about optimizing and modernizing IT infrastructures. There are many ways to do this, but the use case that we're going to focus on today is around internet connection monitoring. So for this session, I'll be giving an overview of what internet connection monitoring is as a concept, why it's important or why you should care about it, and then where WhatsUp Gold fits into the equation. I'm going to keep that fairly brief, as I'll then be passing the floor across to my colleague Jason, who will give a demonstration of the internet connection monitoring feature, followed by a Q&A session. So what is internet connection monitoring? It's the concept of tracking and analyzing the performance, availability, and reliability of your organization's internet connectivity. It can be broken down into a few different sections that I have here on this slide. The first point I want to touch on is availability and uptime monitoring. So working as part of an IT team, high availability and uptime is critical for any digital service. Downtime can lead to lost revenue, poor user experience, or even damage to your brand's reputation. That's why proactive monitoring is essential. Availability monitoring tracks whether your systems, applications, or services are online and accessible to users. This is often measured as a percentage, commonly referred to as uptime, with the goal of achieving as high as possible. 99.9% is higher or ideal, depending on your SLA commitments, but the higher the better. While uptime makes sure your services are available, performance and latency monitoring is about making sure they run smoothly. Even if a system is online, slow load times, high latency, or network instability can frustrate users and impact business outcomes. Performance and latency monitoring measures key metrics such as speed, response time, jitter, and packet loss to maintain optimal connectivity. By tracking these factors, teams can quickly detect slowdowns, optimize response times, and provide a seamless user experience. Another critical factor is bandwidth and traffic monitoring. High traffic volumes, congestion, or uneven distribution of network resources can cause slowdowns and impact user experience. Bandwidth and traffic monitoring track data flow, identify bottlenecks, and help maintain efficient resource allocation. So by analyzing trends, organizations can optimize capacity, prevent network overloads, and maintain consistent performance in their network. So whenever I'm asked why internet connection monitoring is important, I go back to the story many network administrators dread. Leaving the office on a Friday afternoon with everything running smoothly, only to return Monday morning to a nightmare of system-wide failure. If you're a network administrator, you know the quiet comfort in logging off on a Friday, satisfied that all servers are operational, backups are complete, and the network is running efficiently. It's the moment when you finally let out a sigh of relief, looking forward to a stress-free weekend. But then comes Monday. As soon as you open your email to check your monitoring dashboard, your heart sinks. Alerts are flashing, servers are down, user messages flood your inbox. Why can't I log in? Or the system has been down all weekend. So whether you've experienced this yourself or have had nightmares about it, we can all agree that internet outages cause a major headache for network administrators. On-premises notification systems don't work independently of the primary internet or email services, leading to delayed notifications and longer outage times. As an administrator, you're expecting immediate notification when there's a problem, but if it's your primary internet or email that's having the outage, you might not get a notification until much later or at all. These events extend the outage time if you don't know about the actual issue. So this nightmare scenario can really be summed up into the 3 points you see on screen here: productivity, visibility, and operations. So from a productivity standpoint, to put it simply, if systems are down, people can't work. This is obviously not what you want, regardless of the industry that you're in, but in certain industries like e-commerce or financial services, for instance, this could have serious knock-on effects and loss of revenue, not to mention all of the costs of having employees sitting idle. Visibility and operations actually go hand in hand. So quick detection and alerts reduce downtime, keeping your operations running smoothly. Reliable connectivity helps maintain high levels of trust in your brand, and avoiding delayed notifications during internet or email outages gives you the visibility to make sure that when you close the laptop on a Friday afternoon, if any unforeseen issues arise, you will be notified and can take corrective actions. So where does WhatsUp Gold fit into the equation? Well, WhatsUp Gold has internet connection monitoring functionality, which offers organizations of all sizes the controls and insights necessary to analyze and extend their monitoring environment to the cloud. So from a licensing perspective, internet connection monitoring is part of the Enterprise and Enterprise Plus subscription tiers, along with other great functionality like log management, application monitoring, and much more. So in today's digital world, uninterrupted connectivity is critical for business operations, but how can you ensure that your network remains stable and resilient? That's where the always-on external monitoring comes in. WhatsUp Gold continuously sends a heartbeat from each remote site to the cloud, providing real-time insights into your internet connectivity. And if an outage or instability occurs, you'll receive immediate email or SMS notifications, allowing you for quick action to be taken. Beyond alerts, we provide detailed historical reports, tracking latency over time and monitoring the exact routes taken by your traffic. So with this data, IT teams can diagnose connectivity issues, optimize network performance, and ensure a seamless online experience for all. So that's the end of my section of the webinar. I'm now going to hand it across to Jason Alberino, who'll give you a demo of the functionality and answer any questions you may have. Over to you, Jason.
Hello, it's Jason Alberino, Principal Product Manager at Progress, and today I'm going to be talking about WhatsUp Gold 360. So I'm starting on docs.progress.com where the documentation is to walk you through some of these use cases here. So on the WhatsUp Gold tile, I'm going to go over to WhatsUp Gold 360, get started with WhatsUp Gold 360, and you'll see right here kind of the use cases we're going to be talking about today. Internet connection monitoring, which gives you proactive heartbeat monitoring for hypervisors and reliable critical notifications. We'll also be talking about some of the beta functionality we've been working on where you can sync your WhatsUp Gold information over to the cloud. Without further ado, we're going to get right into the product. So how do you actually achieve this is the question. Well, first you have to deploy what we call a connector under infrastructure and then connectors here. I'm going to say add and then connector. I specify VMware, Hyper-V, or Azure, and then fill in the rest of the information. At the end, we'll create you an image that you deploy on your hypervisor of choice. Once you deploy that image and turn it on, it connects back to the cloud here and it becomes reachable. From there, we're also doing ping and trace routes periodically from that virtual appliance, in addition to the heartbeat monitoring we're doing. So you get some additional information about that. You'll see some connection stats here for each one of the connectors I have deployed. You can also look at specific connectors or look at trace route information for multiple or specific ones. And you see that periodic trace route that it's doing. It keeps track of everything, each individual hop, what the min, max, and average was. And it stores that for up to 30 days at this point in time. Now, the other piece of this was the reliable critical notification. So let's imagine for a moment that my hypervisor where this connector is deployed completely goes offline. Let's say like network card dies, there's no network connection. Well, there's no way you're going to get notified about this in that scenario, right? Like let's say your monitoring system's also on that hypervisor. No, you're definitely not getting anything out. Well, this is where the proactive heartbeat monitoring comes in. You're able to go set up what we call a communication channel, either email or SMS, and according to the rules you set, it will then message you about that information. So this one I already have set up. You see you can filter and say specific sites or connectors, specific days, or specific operating hours. But it's a direct phone number right within here. For the SMS, email is very similar. You just add the email and that's it. So that kind of covers the first use case. Again, just recapping, you deploy the small virtual appliance within your environment. We're able to get some additional connection information periodically, as well as alert if we're ever not able to reach the virtual appliance. Now I'm going to start talking about some of the beta functionality, so please keep in mind that this functionality is not yet available publicly. We do have a beta program available through our customer validation program. You can read about that more at whatsupgold.com/CVP. So once I have this connector deployed in my environment, I'm able to then start syncing these WhatsUp Gold servers. So I'll go add WhatsUp Gold. You specify which connector you want to initiate the connection from. So this is basically saying, well, which one should talk to your WhatsUp Gold system or systems. And then on the next page, it's just giving it a name and then filling in the proper information to connect to the system. Once you're done providing that, it will do its initial sync, and then it will sync every 60 seconds after that, as well as when there are changes on devices. So you see all these say they're connected. Well, now I could see my devices right from the cloud, portal.whatsupgold.com. You don't have to worry about opening your WhatsUp Gold server up to the internet, or having to be on LAN or WAN or VPN in order to connect and see your information. So since this is on portal.whatsupgold.com, as long as you have a web browser, you should be able to log in and get that information. And you see it shows me everything from each one of those connectors, as well as individual WhatsUp Gold systems. Really, you can see the data any way you choose. And you see I can select between different WhatsUp Gold systems. I can select the connector itself. I could also look at individual groups on individual WhatsUp Gold servers, or I could just look at everything. In addition to that, there's some advanced filtering capabilities to make it easier to get the data you're looking for. As you can see, there's a search here, but there's also filters. And you see I can look at many different aspects of the device and filter based on that. For example's sake, I've already set up some saved views. So let's say I wanted to create some filters here and recall them later. I can very easily do so. So I just made this filter. I'm going to save it, and I'll just give it a new name. This was NTA Plus credential. Basically, this is only going to show me things that have that specific credential assigned with them. But what's really nice about these save views is it also remembers your column selections and filters and all of that. So let's say I want just down devices. Well, I have already saved this one, and this is looking at, as you can see, it dropped the credential filter for me and brought in completely down devices. So even though these are dynamic groups on WhatsUp Gold systems that populate based on certain attributes, they'll still update within WhatsUp Gold 360, and you'll be able to see them very quickly and easily here. Now on each individual device that is syncing, if you click it, you get some more detailed information about what currently is being monitored on there, and the current state, how long it's been in that state, the last message received in terms of either failure or success, and the device attributes, which groups it's a member of, credentials if it has any associated, as well as any interfaces associated. And you see up here it tells me which WhatsUp Gold server it's coming from, as well as which connector it's coming from. This particular was on 4065.5. That is this one over here. I'm going to just log in and show you for example's sake. Let's come back over here. That was this device. And you can see I've done this before, just going and adding an attribute to this device to show how quickly it can update within WhatsUp Gold 360. So I'm going to go ahead and find that device, and I'm going to switch the attribute, and we'll say hello demo, and just update that. I'll update the note to, we'll say 360 demo, and I'll also put some monitor on here. Let's say a random power supply monitor that should report down. Okay, so you see it's updating within WhatsUp Gold itself. It now thinks that new monitor is down. We now have our notes over here, and that attribute has been updated. So let's go back over to WhatsUp Gold 360, pull up that device, and see what it shows us here. Let's go pull in this device, search for that, pull it in here, and you see already the power supply monitor is here. The attribute has been updated, and the note has been updated. Okay, hopefully everyone finds this helpful. Please let me know if there's any questions at the end. Very glad to discuss the technologies behind this or any sort of use cases anyone has. Thank you.
Alrighty. So, Jason, thanks for sharing that demo. I think that was definitely interesting. Love seeing all the I just love seeing like under the hood. It's one of these things where, if we chat and discuss and talk big ideas, it's great, but I love seeing a product in action. So thank you for doing that. I'm going to quickly launch the poll here, and then we're going to bring out Jason and pick his brain as well. So come on up. Perfect. All right. Again, thanks, Jason. So let's dive into these questions. First one I've got on the queue is, does WhatsUp Gold have the ability to show the different interfaces that connect the devices?
Oh, absolutely. That's part of its core functionality, actually. So it runs what we call network discovery. You specify a range of IP addresses, and based on the responses, we're able to actually not only determine connectivity between those devices, but also begin monitoring them for availability and performance reasons.
Okay, perfect. And what type of devices are not supported by WhatsUp Gold? WhatsUp Gold.
Interesting
Or no,
question.
WhatsApp.
Technically speaking, if it has an IP address, you can monitor it with WhatsUp Gold. Depending on the protocols that it supports, then you maybe can monitor it more in depth. For the most part, we're looking at SNMP and WMI information, but there's also tons of other ways to obtain and monitor data with WhatsUp Gold.
Okay, perfect. So I've got a question here. John's asking, when you're configuring user access to the WhatsUp Gold, does it integrate with Google Workspace or just Active Directory?
Good question. So we did build an OpenID integration. So long as your authentication provider can tie in through OpenID, you're able to integrate WhatsUp Gold authentication to that. So people have done that for various different providers. I'm not sure if Google's one of them, but I presume they have an OpenID endpoint you can configure and authenticate with.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And is that something like, if someone has a specific use case, you guys are able to adapt and develop for clients, or is that a bit of a bigger pipeline to go down?
Oh, we absolutely help in that situation. We offer professional services like that. That's integrating the existing product to a different client environment, let's say, and we absolutely offer that service. And there's tons of guides. We put a bunch of YouTube videos about how to integrate various providers with that. So we don't just say, okay, you're off on your own with this. We have training available, and we have videos. There's documentation, and the OpenID technology is very well documented and well known in the industry, I would say.
Okay, perfect. I've got a question in the queue about support. So someone was asking, does WhatsUp Gold come with support when you purchase?
It does. You actually cannot purchase WhatsUp Gold without support today. We offer perpetual licenses as well as subscription licenses. Obviously, the subscription always comes with support. Perpetual licenses, you have to pay a renewal to keep support on the license.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. Easy peasy. No, it's good. I think so many times we think about, maybe we want less support or less this and save a buck here, save a buck there. But personally, I love kind of a full support situation because you just never know. And I don't have the patience for those things. Okay, Michael's asking, so WhatsUp Gold was always, and I'm sorry to use this, a gold standard project. I know then there were problematic issues. How's the company addressed this and work to go ahead and give people back the gold standard view?
I really like this question, and
Yeah.
I spent a long time as a customer myself for WhatsUp Gold's been around for almost 30 years now. I was a customer for about 10 years before I joined Ipswich, so like I know the intricacies and nuances to the question that you're asking, let's say, but I can confidently say that we've moved forward in the right direction on so many different fronts, and I think analysts are starting to realize this too, where we're coming out ahead of the competition. And analyst reports. We really spent a long time to make sure the product is as stable as possible. After all, you're monitoring your environment. You need your monitoring environment to be stable. So I would say we learned from our lessons previously, and we have moved forward in the very right direction in regards to that. And you can refer back to our release notes over the past 3 years and see all of the new features we've added, as well as improved overall stability of the product.
Okay, thank you. That's a great answer, and it is neat to know that you were a client before and used the product and have seen this evolve over a long time.
Yeah, almost 20 years now. No, 20 years this year, actually. Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, a couple more questions here. Okay, I've got one. Can WhatsUp Gold place phone calls and take voice commands to respond with actions?
I would say partially yes, but only through third-party integration. So WhatsUp Gold's action system does allow you to do various different things, including place phone calls, but it's literally just a dialed phone call with a dial-up modem. If you need to have voice commands, you would want to tie into some third-party integration that already achieves that. Very common ones there, like Opsgenie and PagerDuty. I fret to say Opsgenie since they announced the end of life, though.
Oh no. Well, there you go. There'll always be something.
Yeah,
Another question
and
from Pete. Oh,
I
sorry.
can say that is something we're considering on our roadmap too. During the presentation, I talked about WhatsUp Gold 360 quite a bit, which right now can only do SMS, but we plan to extend it into that phone call and reading messages and things along those lines.
Okay. I might pick your brain at the end of any exciting things on the horizon. How's that sound? Okay. So question from Pete just was asking, can it build, or I'm assuming, can WhatsUp Gold build a network map?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So that's just part of the core functionality of the product. You can try it yourself, whatsupgold.com/trial. You could obtain a free trial and map out your network. It's good for 30 days. Not only does it automatically map out the topology, you also can interact with the maps, make custom maps, and do overlays and things like that. I met with a customer recently who really spent a lot of time on this, and it's impressive to see what you could do when you do that. Like, for example, putting the office building and location of all these access points and putting the server racks and putting them actually in the locations of the racks and actually having the monitoring information on top of that. So all of that's at your fingertips with WhatsUp Gold. It's really easy to use.
Very nice, very nice. Well, I said I might ask you about what's on the horizon, but Jeremy maybe beat me to it. He said, has there been any thought in the WhatsUp Gold roadmap, sorry if this already exists, to monitor SaaS services like Microsoft 365 to keep all our alerts in the same pane of glass?
Oh, absolutely. And I would say you can actually do that today, just in varying different levels. We're trying to lean towards more direct out of the box approach versus the customization approach. So, WhatsUp Gold, you can monitor anything you can think of as long as you populate that data in some sort of way. But if it doesn't come directly out of the box, that means you need to go create it yourself. We are leaning more out towards out of the box integration, so you don't have to worry about creating those yourself. That specific one we have very well documented though on our blog. You can read more about it there.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you. I think that's about all the time we have for questions, but anything you want to shout out, do a little, what do we call?
I'll do the plug. Yeah, I'll do the
The
plug.
plug, the plug. My brain is blanking here. I was like,
Yes.
what do we
Well,
call it?
whatsupgold.com/360. So if you were interested in any of this, go to whatsupgold.com/360 and you can learn more from there.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Jason. Thanks for showing us the product, letting us pick your brain, of course, and well, hopefully we'll see you again in the near future.
Absolutely. Thanks again for having me. Take care.
You too. Cheers. Alrighty. Well, this about marks the end of our marvelous megacast here today, everyone. It is our final presentation of the day. So basically, I'm just going to give you our last final call outs that it is time to grab any and all documents that you didn't grab already, because we're going to wrap this up in about 3 minutes. And if you want to grab from WhatsUp Gold, you can go whatsupgold.com/360. It is the link right in the docs section, and that's going to give you a good overview of what we've been talking about here with WhatsUp Gold from Progress today.